My friends, this is Roger Dakan, the American Refugee, and I want to talk to you just for a moment about Common Core. Some people make the mistake of thinking of Common Core as just a state issue in individual states, and it is a state issue, state by state, that needs to be fought one state at a time. We also need to nationalize this issue and fight it nationally as much as we can, in every way that we can, guys. Guys, this is as big of an issue and as big of an assault on our Constitution, our liberty, and our way of life as Obamacare. Obamacare is one of the nails in the coffin of the United States of America. Common Core is another nail in the coffin. Aside from the fact that constitutionally the Department of Education shouldn't even exist and that there is no role in the federal government mandating how states are going to educate their children, the fact of the matter is that this is a massive, massive effort to do two things. One is to dumb down American citizens. Our founding fathers absolutely understood that the only way freedom could work is if you had a moral and an educated people, and it was absolutely necessary that we have this moral and this educated people. You know, when de Tocqueville comes to the United States, what is this, around 1825, 1830, something like this? I don't have it in front of me right now. But he's writing Democracy in America, or he's studying to write Democracy in America, and everybody in Europe is wondering what's going on with this country that's only 50 years old, that's kicking Europe's butt in every single way and just has a thriving economy and has people pouring into it from all over the world. And he found that America was a godly nation and an educated nation. And what he found is that even Americans who hadn't graduated high school had received a very, very solid grade school education. They knew their history. They knew their Bible. They knew their philosophy. They knew how the government worked, okay? They understood what their rights were. They were literate. The mountain men that he met were entirely literate people. And he talked a great deal about Americans' basic goodness, their devotion to God, and their education. And he basically said this is why this system is working where it hasn't worked in other places. This is why these people are able to have this type of freedom. Well, that's a part of what Common Core is an attempt to dumb down American citizens so that they can be controlled. Another thing is to separate you further from your children. Okay, one of the reasons that issues can change so quickly now that used to take generations for the public opinion to change their mind is parents have far less control over what their children think now and what they believe. People spend less and less time with their mothers. They spend more and more time inside of the public school. Okay, and in Common Core there is very much an effort to change the way math is done, to change the way certain things are done, so that parents will not be able to help their kids with their schoolwork. You see, they don't want you having that type of bonding relationship where you're helping your children do their schoolwork. They don't want you to be able to help your children with schoolwork. They want to do everything that they can to mess with that relationship between mother and child, between parents and child, and keep putting the state in there one more step at a time. My friends, if we allow Common Core to be fully implemented nationwide and take over this entire country, there's going to be no coming back. I call myself the American Refugee for a reason. I call myself the American Refugee because I don't recognize my country anymore, and I want it back. I'm sojourning in Ameritopia. Well, if we're going to get our country back, one of the most important things that we have to do is we have to stop Common Core, and we have to make sure that we are properly educating our children in our religion, in the Bible, educating our children in the Constitution, educating our children in the proper history of the United States, educating our children in mathematics and geometry so that they can think analytically. All of this is extremely, extremely important. My friends, join me in this absolute opposition to Common Core, and let's make Common Core a litmus test issue. Don't support any gubernatorial candidate, any mayoral candidate, any school board candidate, any Senate candidate, any House candidate, or any presidential candidate for that matter, unless they come out and oppose Common Core.